Because the same God that brought down the walls of Jericho is the same God that's working behind the walls that you're facing. Listen, I know it feels like that you've been walking in circles, like you've been praying and believing and nothing is changing. But don't stop now. Because the same God that brought down the walls of Jericho is the same God that's working behind the walls that you're facing, even when you can't even see it. So around this time, Moses had passed and Joshua became the leader, and God promised his people the promised land. But before they could enter, they had to face their biggest obstacle, and that was the city of Jericho. That city was a fortified city. It was strong. They felt as though they could not conquer this city. They were given specific instructions. They were to walk around the city one time a day for 6 days. The priests were to carry the Ark of the Covenant. And then the 7th day, they were to walk around 7 times that day. And then the priests were to blow the trumpet. And when they heard the trumpet sound, they were to shout. And then the walls will fall. They obeyed God. And on those 6 days, they wasn't seeing no change. Oh, but on that 7th day, just like he said, they shouted. And those walls fell. Yes, they did. Those walls fell. And they walked in, and I'm sure they walked in with their head held high. Listen, 7 days. I'm getting what's mine. Sometimes God's instructions don't make sense to us, but we walk by faith and not by sight. Faith means walking when you don't even see it happening. I can say this for myself, that your breakthrough comes right after those silent seasons, those rough seasons, those faithful seasons, the obedient seasons, those strange seasons, the seasons where you just don't know, but you just do it. Faith. What walls am I talking about? Fear, doubt, worry, discouragement, fear of failure, fear of the unknown, unforgiveness, bitterness, hatred, envy, jealousy, overthinking, comparison, disobedience, unhealed trauma, isolation, financial hardship. All these things, you have to let those walls fall. You just got to understand that the things that you hold on to, the things that you're dealing with, cannot go into the next season. It cannot go into that promised land. You have been through too much to keep holding on to the things that's holding you back. These present obstacles, these present circumstances. I want you to know this from my experience. One thing that I do know is that there's a promise behind every wall. God doesn't show us these things to make us feel guilty or shameful, but he show us these things so that we don't keep repeating the same cycle. We keep taking the same thing in every season that we go in, and then we wonder why we keep going through the same things. Because God showed you this and you didn't want to let it go because you felt comfortable. You didn't want to let it go because I don't think that I should let this go because this is who I am. No, when God show you these walls that need to come down, do exactly what he say, so that